Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of American coinage, and we are focusing on one coin in particular that continues to capture the attention of collectors all over the world. I am talking about the 1979 D Washington quarter dollar. You might be surprised at just how much money this coin can be worth if you happen to have the right one sitting in your pocket change or coin jar. Let's start with a little bit of history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin became a permanent part of U.S. coinage beginning in 1934. By 1979, the coin had already seen decades of circulation and millions upon millions were minted at different locations including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 1979 D quarter comes from the Denver Mint, and while many were produced, certain examples carry special characteristics that make them incredibly valuable to collectors. Now here's the part that makes coin collecting so exciting. Most 1979 D Washington quarters you might find in everyday circulation are only worth face value, 25 cents. However, if the coin has been preserved in extraordinary condition, with a strong strike and no signs of wear, the story changes dramatically. Professional coin grading services evaluate these coins on a 70-point scale, and only the highest quality examples reach the top levels. When a 1979 D Washington quarter achieves a mint state 67 or higher grade, its value jumps into serious money territory. These top condition quarters are incredibly rare because most coins from that year have scratches, bag marks, or wear from circulation. One of the most amazing discoveries in recent years was a 1979 D Washington quarter graded at a premium level that sold for an astonishing $85,860 at auction. That is right, a single $quarter coin that was originally worth 25 cents ended up being valued at over $85,000. This record sale has made headlines and continues to spark interest in coin collecting, showing that hidden treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places. So what makes these coins worth so much money? First, the condition is absolutely critical. A quarter that looks brand new, with sharp details in Washington's hair, clean surfaces without scratches, and strong luster is a candidate for a top grade. Second, rarity plays a huge role. While millions of 1979 D quarters were minted, only a handful survived in such immaculate state. Finally, demand from collectors fuels the market value. When passionate collectors compete at auction for the finest known examples, prices skyrocket. The current market value for a 1979 D Washington quarter in superb gem condition stands around $85,860. Keep in mind that values can fluctuate depending on the coin market, collector demand, and new discoveries. Even coins in slightly lower grades can still be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially if they are certified by a reputable grading company. If you are wondering how to check your own coins, start by looking closely under good lighting. Inspect the details on Washington's portrait and the eagle on the reverse side. Look for any wear or scratches. If the coin still shines brightly and appears almost untouched, it might be worth sending it to a grading service for evaluation. Even if your coin is not the record-breaking gem, a nice uncirculated 1979 D quarter can bring in much more than its face value. So the big takeaway is this: never overlook the coins in your pocket change or coin jar. The 1979 D Washington quarter dollar has already proven that it can turn a simple 25-cent piece into a life-changing sum of money. And with coin collecting continuing to grow in popularity, the demand for high-quality examples will likely remain strong. We are diving into the fascinating world of the 1979 D Washington quarter dollar coins. These coins may look ordinary at first glance, but in the world of coin collecting some examples can be worth much more than their face value. The 1979 quarter was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The one we are focusing on today is the Denver Mint issue, which carries the small d mint mark on the front side just to the right of George Washington's hair tie-in. 1979 The Denver Mint produced over 360 million Washington quarters. Because of this high mintage, the majority of these coins remain common and are only worth their face value of 25 cents when found in circulation. However, collectors are always searching for coins that stand out due to condition errors or special qualities. First, let's talk about condition. Like most coins, the value of a 1979 D quarter rises Significantly, the higher the grade circulated coins usually only bring face value or maybe a few cents above face value, but if you have an uncirculated example, especially one graded by a professional service such as PCGS or NGC, the value can jump dramatically. Mint State 65 examples are worth a few dollars, while superb gems in Mint State 67 or higher are very rare and can bring $100 or more at auction. Now let's talk about errors and varieties. Error coins always capture attention in the numismatic community. Some 1979 D quarters have been found with off-center strikes, double die, obverse errors, or clipped planchets. These types of mint errors can sell anywhere from $50 to several $100s depending on the severity and visual appeal. Another important factor is strike quality and luster. Because so many coins were made at Denver in 1979, the strike is often weak. Collectors will pay a premium for sharply struck coins that show all the tiny details of Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. So what about the highest values ever recorded? Some rare examples of the 1979 D Washington quarter graded at the very top end of the Mint State scale have sold for over $1,000 at major auctions. That is why collectors carefully examine these coins looking for superb quality. For most people who check their pocket change, the 1979 D quarter will just be worth 25 cents, but if you happen to find one in flawless condition or with a striking mint error, then you could be holding a small treasure. To recap, the regular 1979 D Washington quarter is common and worth only face value in circulated grades. Uncirculated pieces start around $1 to $5, with higher grade gems worth more. Serious collectors pay top dollar for error coins or examples graded in Mint State 67 and above, with the very best bringing hundreds to over $1,000. If you have a 1979 D Washington quarter, take a close look at it. Check the mint mark, the strike quality, and any unusual features. You never know, you might have a coin worth far more than 25 cents. The 1982 D Washington quarter is one of the most talked about modern coins in United States history. On the surface, it might look like just another quarter from the early 80s, a coin you could find in your change jar or pocket. But the story behind this coin, the varieties, the errors, and the overall history of the Washington quarter series, makes the 1982 D a coin collectors should not ignore. To understand why this coin matters, let's first look at the background. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter, and ever since, it has been one of the most familiar coins in American currency. For decades, these quarters were made of 90% silver. But that all changed in 1965, when the United States Mint switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. From then on, quarters were no longer silver, but instead a mix of copper and nickel, giving them that familiar modern look. Fast forward to 1982. This year was a turning point in U.S. coinage. Due to budget cuts and rising costs, the United States Mint made a decision that shocked collectors. They stopped producing official mint sets for circulation coins in 1982 and 1983. What does this mean? It means that unlike other years, there were no regular government-issued collector sets that included pristine examples of the 1982 quarters. As a result, high-grade examples of these coins are much harder to find today, and collectors will pay big money for them. Now let's focus on the Denver Mint. The 1982 D Washington quarter was struck in Denver, Colorado. Over 480 million pieces were minted, so at first glance you would think they are very common. But when you dig deeper, the truth is not so simple. Most of these quarters went straight into circulation, and they were used in everyday commerce. Very few were saved in uncirculated condition. That's why a nice Mint State coin today can sell for far more than its face value. One of the most interesting features about 1982 quarters is the so-called weak strike problem. Many Denver minted quarters from this year show weak details, especially on Washington's hair and the eagle on the reverse. Strongly struck coins with sharp details are much scarcer, and this makes them highly desirable. Collectors are willing to pay premiums for a crisp, bold strike. There are also known errors and varieties from this year. Some 1982 D quarters have off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or even double dies. Any major mint error from this year can sell for hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars depending on its rarity and condition. Now let's talk about values. For an average circulated 1982 D quarter, the coin is usually worth just 25 cents. But when you step up to higher grades, the story changes. In Mint State 60, you might expect values around $2 to $5. In Mint State 65, the value jumps to around $20 to $30. When you get into the top gem grades like Mint State 67 or higher, the numbers really climb. A 1982D Washington quarter graded MS67 by a top grading service can bring in over $1,000 at auction. In fact, some of the highest quality examples ever sold have reached prices in the range of $1,500 to $2,000, and remember, these are not rare dates in terms of mintage, but they are very rare in superb condition. That is the key difference. Because no official mint sets were made, very few pristine examples exist. Most coins are scratched, worn, or struck with weak details. That's what makes a gem 1982D quarter such a prize for collectors. The market for Washington quarters, especially the clad issues of the 70s and 80s, has been heating up in recent years. Collectors who once ignored these coins are now realizing how difficult it is to find top-grade examples. The demand is growing, and the prices reflect this trend. So if you have a 1982D quarter in your pocket change or in an old jar, it might be worth taking a closer look. Who knows, you might be holding onto a coin that could bring you a nice profit. To sum it up, the 1982D Washington quarter dollar is a fascinating coin in American history. It marks a year when no mint sets were made, it is known for weak strikes and scarce high-grade survivors, and it can be worth a lot of money when found in gem condition. While most examples are still only worth face value, the best of the best can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars. We'll show you exactly how to tell the difference and what the current market is paying right now. By the end of this video you will know the quick tests that separate pocket change from prize money. You will hear the real auction numbers. You will learn the common traps that make collectors overpay. And if you have the right coin in top condition, your next coffee could be paid for by a single quarter. Chapter 1. Know your coin. This is the last decade of the classic Eagle reverse Washington quarter before the statehood designs arrived. The P stands for Philadelphia. You will find that mint mark on the front to the right of Washington's ponytail ribbon near the motto "In God We Trust." The coin is copper nickel over a copper core and weighs about 5.67 grams. Diameter is 24.3 millimeters. The edge is reeded. The mintage was huge at 825,600,000, which means almost all of them are common. Chapter 2. The big truth about value: condition rules everything. Circulated 1994 P quarters usually trade around face value up to about $1. Fresh uncirculated examples from old mint sets often bring $1 to $2. Where the money shows up is at the very highest mint state grades, where contact marks are minimal, where the strike is sharp, and where the luster blazes across the fields. Chapter 3. How to speed grade at home. Step 1. Luster. Tilt the coin under a single light. You want a full cartwheel flash that rolls evenly front and back. If the shine dies in dull patches, you are not in gem territory. Step 2. Marks. Look at Washington's cheek, jawline and neck. Those high points pick up ticks from other coins. Too many nicks and the grade drops fast. Step 3. Strike. Check the hair above the ear for defined curls and look at the eagle's chest and upper wing feathers for detail. Soft flat feathers mean a weaker strike that can hold the grade back even on a clean coin. Step 4. Eye appeal. Original skin beats polished shine every time. Natural frost and toning are good. Scrubbed bright and hairlined is bad. Chapter 4. Grades and real money. Right now average circulated value is small change. Nice uncirculated from mint sets $1 to $2. True gem coins in the mid-mint state 60s can reach low tens of dollars with strong eye appeal. The jump to mint state 67 is where the payoff starts. Choice examples can bring low hundreds and sometimes several $100s depending on the grading service and how clean the coin looks. At the absolute top there have been a few legendary sales when a coin hit the highest known grade. One superb example brought over $8,000 in a major auction years ago. When a second example appeared later, the price fell sharply, which shows how sensitive modern coins are to population changes. Chapter 5. Error and variety. Money missing clad layer. One side shows a bright copper color with the other side normal gray. Strong examples can sell for a few $100s off center strikes. If the date is still visible, collectors like it. Wider off-centers bring more and can range from double digits into a few hundred depending on how dramatic it looks. Broad strikes without the reeded rim can bring a premium. Clipped planchets crescent-shaped bites out of the edge also bring a premium when the clip is obvious and the coin is unclean. True double dies on the date or the motto are uncommon for this year, but always look for clear split lines, not a blurry shadow from machine doubling. If you suspect a valuable error, do not clean the coin. Photograph it in natural light and get multiple opinions. Chapter 6: How to check current prices like a pro. Look up price guides from the big grading services for a quick range. Search recent auction results by grade and service to see what actually sold. Compare the photos of the sold coins to your coin. Match the number and size of contact marks. Match the strength of the luster. Match the strike on hair and feathers. If you are new to grading, do not chase top dollar without certification. The spread between mint state 66 and 67 can be many times your money. Chapter 7: Smart submission tips. Only consider sending coins that look nearly flawless under a strong light. Focus on coins pulled from original government mint sets or rolls that stayed untouched. Pre-screen with a coin dealer or a local club. Honest feedback can save you grading fees. If you do submit, choose one service per batch and pack coins safely in flips. List each coin clearly. Chapter 8: Market snapshot. In simple terms, circulated 1994 P quarters are everywhere and rarely beat $1. Uncirculated from sets are usually a couple of dollars. High-end mint state 66 can sell in the teens to maybe 40 depending on look and label. Mint state 67 is a scarcity and can range from roughly 150 into the 400s. When I appeal is strong. Ultra top pop coins when populations are tiny can spike, but prices can fall fast if another coin ties the grade. Do not build a budget around a record price unless you have a truly best of the best coin. Chapter 9: What to keep, what to spend. Keep coins with booming luster, minimal marks and sharp detail. Keep dramatic errors like missing clad layer or major off-center. Spend scratched, clean, stained or heavily worn pieces. Remember that untouched originality beats shine from cleaning every single time. Chapter 10: Your action plan. Check your change and your old mint sets tonight. Use a single desk lamp and a clean white surface. Sort into spenders, keepers and maybes. Photograph the maybes and compare them with certified examples online. If a coin still looks elite after all that, then consider professional grading. Outro: Now you know the secret. The 1994 P Washington quarter is a workhorse of American change and a sleeper for big value only when the condition is elite or the error is dramatic. Drop a comment if you found one. Like and subscribe for more real-world coin hunts and market updates. And may your next quarter roll be the one that pays for dinner. Sources and current pricing references as of August 2025. PCGS Coin Facts page for 1994 P Washington quarter includes mintage of 825,600,000 notes on scarcity at MS67 and an auction record listing. PCGS Coin Week Collector's Guide for the 1994 P quarter covers loose uncirculated pricing around $1 to $2 and reports a past MS68 record sale above $8,000 with later declines as more appeared. Imagine pulling a 1996 P Washington quarter from change and discovering it is worth way more than 25 cents. Today we dive into the full story of the 1996 Philadelphia quarter. Real values. Real sales. Which coins bring the big money? And how you can check your own coins in minutes. Channel intro. Welcome to the channel where we turn pocket change into knowledge and sometimes into profit. Hit subscribe and let us begin. Chapter 1: Quick background on the 1996 P quarter. The 1996 Washington quarter is a clad coin from the Philadelphia Mint. It celebrates the classic Washington design that ran from 1932 through the late 90s. Most examples were made for circulation, which means the majority are common and trade around face value unless the condition is exceptional or the coin shows a dramatic mint error. Price guides and dealers track these values closely and update them as the market moves. Gray Sheet +1 Chapter 2: Everyday value versus collector value. If your 1996 P quarter has obvious wear from circulation, its typical value is spending money. Uncirculated coins with clean luster and few marks start to bring a small premium. Entry-level uncirculated examples tend to sell around $1 or a few dollars depending on how nice they are. That matches common price guide ranges for MS63 through MS65 grades where values are low but real. Silveracyclers.com Gray Sheet Chapter 3 Where real money begins. High-grade business strike coins are the sleepers in this date. The jump happens at high mint state grades. A certified coin at MS67 is usually a modest sale, and many recorded sales have been under $50. The real chase is MS68, where populations are tiny and bidders pay attention. Public auction records show 1996 P-quarters graded MS68 bringing into the hundreds of dollars. That is a huge premium for a modern clad coin, and it reflects how tough it is to find a flawless strike from the mid-90s. PCGS Plus 1 Chapter 4 Proof Coins vs. Business Strikes for 1996. You will also see proof coins from San Francisco in both clad and silver compositions made for collectors. These are mirror finish coins with sharp details. They are usually worth less than a truly top-grade 1996 P business strike because proofs are common in high condition. Typical prices for 1996's clad proofs are in the small tens of dollars, and 1996 South silver proofs can run a bit more depending on grade and packaging. That is why a great 1996 P business strike can outperform a perfect proof. Coin Identifier Chapter 5 Errors and Varieties that can be worth serious money. Now to the fun part. Dramatic mint errors from 1996 can bring real premiums. Collectors pay up for off-center strikes, double strikes, wrong planchets, and strong struck-through pieces. Auction archives and dealer guides document off-center and double-struck quarters from 1996 that have sold for hundreds and sometimes more when the error is bold and the coin is in nice condition. If you find an off-center strike that cuts into the date or Washington's portrait in a big way, you might have a winner. Gray sheet. You will also see many online listings claiming double dies and missing letters. Some are real minor machine issues that are common and low value. Others can be collectible if strong and confirmed by a reputable variety service. Approach raw listings with caution and rely on certification or trusted attributions before expecting big money. eBay Plus 1 Chapter 6 Current Market Snapshot. Here is how the market looks right now. Circulated 1996 P-quarters with normal wear trade for face value or just above that in bulk lots. Low-end uncirculated pieces sell around $1 to a few dollars depending on eye appeal and grade. Target MS63 to MS65 ranges. Certified MS67 coins often sell for tens of dollars, rather than hundreds, based on multiple auction results and active listings. Top-grade MS68 coins have brought a few $100s when they appear at major venues, though results vary with eye appeal and bidding competition. Proof coins from 1996s are usually small money unless in perfect modern grades, while dramatic mint errors from any mint can range from dozens to hundreds and occasionally more for spectacular pieces. These ranges reflect guide data and public sales that show modest prices at mid-grades and stronger premiums at the very top. Graysheet PCGSilverRecyclers.com Coin Identifier Chapter 7 How to check your 1996 P-quarter at home. Step 1 Confirm the mint mark. Look at the front of the coin to the right of Washington. A small P means Philadelphia. No mint mark for this year would be unusual, so be sure the letter is there. Step 2 Assess wear. If the hair above the ear is flat and the cheek shows heavy rub, you have a circulated coin and it is likely near face value. Step 3 Look at the luster. Uncirculated coins have a cartwheel effect when you tilt them under light. If that luster is strong and the surfaces are clean, you might be in the money. Step 4 Search for bold errors. Big off-center strikes, missing parts of the design, double strikes, or coins on the wrong planchet are the standouts. Photograph both sides in sharp light and compare to verified examples in reputable archives and price guide. Step 5 If you think you have a high-end coin or a real error, consider third-party grading from a major service. Certified grades unlock the best auction prices for modern business strikes at the top end. Auction records for MS67 and MS68 coins prove that certification matters when aiming for premium results. PCGS Chapter 8 Common pitfalls that cost collectors money. Do not assume every shiny coin is rare. Many coins were saved from bankrolls. Do not pay premium prices for minor machine doubling or light strike weakness. Do not clean your coin. Cleaning lines and altered surfaces destroy value. Do not rely on fantasy prices from random buy it now listings. Use actual auction results and respected guides to anchor expectations. Graysheet Plus 1 Chapter 9 Real-world examples. Price guides show the normal curve for this date with low prices in mid-mint state and a sharp jump at MS68. Heritage and other venues have recorded MS68 sales in the hundreds, while older MS67 records sit much lower. This gap is what makes roll searching and old collection cherry picking exciting. One blazing coin can move the needle. PCGS Chapter 10 What to do if you think you struck gold. First, take clear photos in natural light. Second, compare your coin to graded examples and price guide images. Third, submit to a major grading service only if the coin truly looks gem level or the error is dramatic. Finally, choose the right selling venue. Routine coins sell fine in local channels. High grade or major errors belong with auction houses that reach specialist bidders. Guides and archives can help you decide where your coin fits. Gray She Trap Upmost 1996 P quarters are humble workhorses worth face value. But a tiny percentage in elite condition or with dramatic mint errors can bring serious money. Keep an eye out for blazing luster, minimal marks, and those unmistakable error types. Use current price guides and recent auction results to stay realistic and informed before you buy, sell, or submit. We are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins in circulation, the 2021 D Washington quarter dollar coin from the Denver Mint. At first glance it may look like just another quarter you might spend on a cup of coffee or drop in a parking meter, but believe me, this coin has a story, and in certain cases it can be worth a lot more than 25 cents. Collectors all across the country are keeping their eyes open for these coins because special errors, varieties, and high-grade examples are turning into serious money on today's CoinMarket.to understand why the 2021 D Washington quarter has captured so much attention. We have to go back to the history of the Washington quarter itself. The series began in 1932 as a way to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. From then until today, the Washington quarter has gone through many design changes, from the classic eagle reverse to the state quarters series, the National Parks America, the beautiful designs, and then in 2021 the Crossing the Delaware design. This one-year-only design shows Washington leading troops across the Delaware River, a powerful image that was placed on every 2021 quarter no matter if it was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Now the Denver Mint is known for producing hundreds of millions of coins every year, and the 2021 D quarter is no exception. With such a massive mintage you might think these coins are common and worthless, but the truth is in the details. Coin collectors know that condition, rarity, and errors are the three things that drive value. And believe it or not, the 2021 D Washington quarter has already produced several standout examples that bring in big prices at auction. Let's talk about condition first. Most coins we find in circulation show wear scratches and contact marks, but when a coin is graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC and it achieves a grade of Mint State 67, Mint State 68, or even higher, the value skyrockets. A regular 2021 D Washington quarter in pocket change might only be worth its face value of 25 cents, but the same coin graded in Mint State 67 can fetch $50 to $100. Push it up to Mint State 68 and we are talking about sales ranging from $200 all the way to over $500 depending on demand and the sharpness of the strike. Very few coins achieve this level because of the sheer volume of quarters produced and the rough way coins are handled at the mint. Now let's talk about errors and varieties. Errors are always the wild card of coin collecting, and the 2021 D quarter has some that can be worth serious money. Collectors have reported double die obverse examples where parts of Washington's profile or lettering appear doubled. Other coins show die chips that create odd bumps and marks in places like Washington's hat or around the lettering. There are also off-center strikes where part of the design is missing because the coin was not aligned properly in the press. Depending on how dramatic the error is, values can range from $50 all the way up into the hundreds or even thousands for a truly spectacular mistake. Another area of excitement is full strike details. Collectors love sharp, well-struck coins with no weakness in the design. The 2021 D quarters that show crisp lines in Washington's hair and bold detail in the Crossing the Delaware design are much more desirable than weakly struck examples. Now let's break down the current market value. As of today, circulated 2021 D Washington quarters are still worth face value of 25 cents unless they have a visible error. However, uncirculated rolls straight from the mint or from bank boxes are selling for a premium. A full roll of 40 quarters can bring between $20 and $40 depending on condition. High-grade certified examples, as I mentioned earlier, can sell from $100 to over $500. And major error coins have reached into the four-figure territory in auction settings when multiple collectors compete for them. The lesson here is simple: never overlook your change. Every coin tells a story, and the 2021 D Washington quarter is no exception. Check for mint errors, check for strong strikes, and if you think you have a pristine example, consider sending it in for grading. What might look like just another quarter in your hand could actually be a rare collector's item worth far more than you ever imagined. So next time you get a handful of change, take a moment to look for that little D mint mark on the front of the coin right next to Washington's profile. You never know when you might be holding a piece of modern coin history that could put some serious money in your pocket. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2021 D Washington quarter, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. We talk about coins that are hiding in your pocket change and could be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching and happy hunting.